Oh yeah, I'm just going to work through adding a horizontal nav bar to a web page. So I'm going to add it. The task, the first task you're given is basically link all the practical things you've done together. I'm just going to work on gnomes for now, do it there, and then it'll just be a case of copying and pasting stuff. And if you just follow Mr. Scott's 7 steps to Navbar heaven, then you should be okay. And yes, he's had fun with fancy stuff here, hasn't he? So, step 1, create a nav element for your navbar. And of course, you could use a div, but nav is the preferred option. Semantic elements that we need to know about higher, and just generally good practice in web development, use the nav element. So, I'm going to put it right at the top of this really tasteful gnomes page. I mean, it's quite ugly, I know, but I just did it, so it's handy. So just in the body, I'm going to put my nav element. There we go, step 1. We're a 1/7 of the way there. Let's have a look at the next bit. So, create an unordered list of your hyperlinks. So, Nat5 stuff. UL list items. Now, by the way, people often ask me, can we not do, can you do a sort of template that you can just add in, like you would, in the same way you would use procedures and so on, subprograms in programming. You can do it, but not at higher level. We learn about it at advanced higher level when use PHP, which makes things slightly more complex, but it can be done. Anyway, unordered list. So you're gonna, I'll pause this while I actually type possibly, but basically just inside that nav element, you've got your UL and you've got each of the list items. So basically all the things you want it to actually say in your list. So whatever, Bill Murray, and then make each of those a hyperlink, which you should know how to do, I would hope. I think it's just billmurray.html. There we go, and I will I'll pause while I do the rest of that. Okay, so I've put all those in. Now you'll notice I just have stupidly forgot to move gnomes into the same folder there, so I've still got it in this folder. It's not stupid, you may have done the same, I'm not calling you stupid. So from gnomes I need to go up a folder. So you might remember that you can go, when you're putting in a file path, you can put the 2 dots, basically mean go up a level. So from where gnomes is, I'm going up a level to get to these. And I'm not putting a hyperlink on gnomes. I mean, I could just link to it itself, but I'm not bothering. It's good to include it in there though, so the nav bar is consistent and things don't move about. Okay. And that's how it's looking. Let's have a look. So that's the HTML stuff. Now on to the CSS. I mean, that's a nav bar, I suppose, just a really ugly one. So now we start making it look pretty. So style of nav, width, height, margins, padding, color, font size. So there's a whole lot of stuff here, and of course we should just put that in a separate CSS file. So I'll pause while I save this. I could have made my life much easier by just moving the gnomes file to the same folder as the others. Anyway, we're styling the nav element, and what are we doing? Various things. So width and height to auto, and we can play your margin settings. I say width and height auto, keep that, but margin and padding and colors and font sizes, you can play about with that stuff. So height auto, width auto. I mean, I'll do something different from what's there just to let you see. So margin, we're using a bit of shorthand here. If we just do top and bottom margin, let's just make them a bit bigger than they are in the example. 20px, and at the sides let's leave that at 0px. Background color, what am I doing? There we go. Let's just go, wait, gnomes, let's make it green. I mean, I could style it differently on every page, but I want consistency. And of course, all my pages are totally different that I'm linking to here. It'd be nice to have some sort of consistent color scheme. And color, well, I'll go with green. You know what? I might go for a darker green in a moment. And you know, and obviously I can style the font and stuff as well. Let's make it really massive. Right, and I'd better go link to my style sheet there. So, link equals style sheet. And then the only bit that actually changes this, so from here it's up a level again. That's where I've put it. Nav styles.css. There we go. Let's see if I've actually got that right. Yeah. Oh god. Oh, white on that green will be nice. Actually, it's a dark enough green. Okay. So that's us. We're basically styling it to make it look a bit prettier there. You know, and height auto just means it'll take up the height. You know, set the height to whatever is required for it. And width auto, does that just automatically take up the same as the parent element? I think. Okay. Number 4, style the UL to remove the bullet markers, margin and padding, and set overflow to hidden. So here's the key thing here, list style type none. So that is something you need to know about for hire. It lends itself to really easy exam questions, because that's the only thing you need to know about list style type, setting it to none. So let's go back here. So we could just do UL, of course. I think that's the only unordered list on that page, but let's play it safe. Only ULs in the nav bar. So remember our descendant selector, the space there. And I forgot what I'm doing. Oh yeah, list style type none. And overflow hidden. Oh, is that my house phone? No one ever rings my house phone. Which means that is some telemarketer. Right. List style type none and overflow hidden. You don't need to know about overflow hidden for the exam or anything. This is just to help you make it a bit neater. You're not going to be asked about it. Call that phone. Right, and margin 0px and padding 0px. So as far as actually coding a horizontal nav bar goes, you might have to do something like this in the coursework, but you're not going to have to reel this stuff off in the exam. But you might, stuff like that, list style type. You'd be expected to be able to interpret this code, be able to understand this has been applied to an unordered list that's inside a nav element, and that's going to remove the markers. Let's just check. Right, there we go. Bullet points are gone. And some margin and padding gone from each of the list items. What am I doing? I'm fumbling about trying to work it. Sorry, not the list items, from the entire list. Right, because now we're working on list items. Number 5, style the list items to float left. Easy. So hopefully you can predict what that is going to do when I float these. So list items inside the nav element, when I float them left, that means trees is going to move up beside Bill Murray, and then circus will move up beside trees, and so on. So you get them laid out horizontally. Of course, in actual fact, we don't have to. The very last one, the gnomes one, that doesn't need to be floated left. There we go. Okay. I mean, it's looking quite horrific, and the fact that my anchors are changing colour when they've been visited and so on lends itself to some horrible colours. Right, number 6, style the A elements. So we're going to set the colour of them to white ideally, because that's what I had elsewhere. So you know, we can set the text decoration to none. Basically means don't underline them now. You might maybe want it underlining. I like a nav bar. I think the nav bars look nicer when the links aren't underlined. It's clear it's a nav bar. You don't need to underline the links. Set the color, set the padding, that sort of thing. So again, color and padding, obviously, you can mess about with. So I just want anchors which are in the nav element. Otherwise, it's going to change. It's going to apply these styles to all the hyperlinks. So in fact, all this stuff here, I mean, this is just making it prettier. Well, that's what CSS is about anyway, isn't it? What else would we be doing other than making it prettier? Color white. And what else was I doing? Padding, was it? I'll just go for what I've set here. Obviously reasonable amounts, but you can play about with that. So remember, that's top and bottom padding of 10 pixels and left and right padding of 10 pixels. Did I say that? Did I say that wrong? Anyway, and you could do that as 4 separate statements. It's just shorthand, a bit more efficient. Let's have a look at how that is. Looking nicer. Okay. What's our 7th step to heaven? Set a style for a hover. So you could do anything you like here. I mean, really, anything you want. This is just to, again, making it pretty. So when we hover over a elements within a nav element. I'm trying to think of something good I could do here. I mean, text color. What am I? Color. Do whatever you want. You can do a whole lot of nice stuff. Let's just see how that looks. That'll do. Now, one thing's occurred to me. These aren't going to look pretty, by the way, because these are my unsolved versions. Oh no, that's all okay. Right, I'll shut up. Let's have a look at the next thing. So there was a little bit of extension as well, just making it increasingly pro. What was it? Set a different style for the page the user is currently on, so they're clear on the location. So you just set this class active. I mean, you could do it as an ID actually. You always see it done like this. It doesn't have to be called active, but again, that just seems pretty standard approach. So if I go back to my HTML here, this is the active one. That's the one I'm on at the moment. And then, how are we doing for time? Oh heavens! And then we can do a bit of CSS. So maybe I'll be lazy and just copy this stuff. You don't need to know about font weight, but you can do this. So in my CSS, you can do whatever you want, of course. So within a nav element, anything that is in the active class, we want that. So I'll try the font weight thing. There we go. So let's just check that initially. So you can see it's to try to make it a bit clearer. This isn't the prettiest thing ever, although a lot of it's to do with the font. I think a nav bar looks pretty nice in a sans serif font. And then we see I got around this already, so I don't actually need to do it here. But it will make copying and pasting easier. If I had left, let's go and just change this just to show you. This would make copying and pasting easier. Let's say that. Let's make them all a link. Okay. Oh, rookie error there. So that's the link as well. So this just means when I copy and paste it into other pages, into my Royal Blood or Circus or whatever pages, I just copy that, paste it in, and I just move where the class active is. Okay, and make it a bit easier. And then we can sort of set it so the hover effect. Again, this is extension. You don't need to know this for hire. Basically, so we've got a couple of pseudo classes here. We're basically saying within the nav element, and when we hover over any A element and also that is not in the class active, then do this. Okay, I'm just going to copy and paste that because I'm kind of lazy. That's fine, I'm sure plenty of you are too. Right, so this stuff is beyond hire. You don't need to know that. Let's just say, what am I trying to do? What's the effect I'm trying to achieve there? So it doesn't apply to the active class. Alright. Did I make it grey previously on my example? Yeah. Oh yeah, alright, I see. So what did I actually do? Ooh, colour black. There we go. This is very much extension again, just to reassure you as you watch me fumbling my way trying to remember what I was doing. Didn't work at all, did it? Let me pause, work out what I've done wrong. Oh yeah, it's because I'm being an idiot. That's why. Because I didn't read my own instructions. Because I'm supposed to be editing that. I mean, what a fool. So this bit here, where it changed the colour of an anchor to black when we hovered over it. I want to say only do that if the anchor is not in the active class. Yes. Probably should actually have thought about that before just copying and pasting. Right. And let's check. There we go. Are you kidding me? Is this some sort of joke? Not active. Nav. It's because I need to put class active in the anchor, not in the list item. Get a grip, Hill. Get a grip. None of the anchors had the class active, so anyway. Be nice to practice these things before I actually videoed them. Hooray! Right, there you go. So now it's just a case of, for each of your other pages, copy and paste that in. If you did the class active thing, then just move that into the appropriate A tag and make sure they all link to the styles. And of course, in the others, if you've done the same as me, then you'll have to adjust the paths depending on where you're linking from. Okay, good luck. See ya.